I just saw this latest headline. Clinton claims the Democratic nomination. What do you see on the cover of the New York Times? Hillary Clinton doing the Jesus pose. All about mockery. Let's play this clip. Explain it a little bit more.
Opening her arms as if to embrace everyone. The first woman to claim the nomination inspired sober headlines and...
This is how far they go to mock Christ. Every which way possible, just like all the puppets like I demonstrated before. People like Ozzy Osbourne, Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails. Of course, 9 Inch Nails is a reference to Christ being crucified by Roman nails. You might say, oh, he's not a Satanist. Give me a break. Well, take a look at this. Wearing the Satanic Army t-shirt, and of course with orange. Like I stated many, many times, orange being the only color in numerology that is 33. That is why you see Hillary Clinton wearing orange so often. By the way, doing the Nazi pose as well as a form of mockery. As you can see here. What's the difference? There's no difference. Of course, with the orange books from Nazi Germany, all about Freemasonry. As I showed many times, the highest degree in the Scottish Rite is 33, and also the age that Christ was crucified. The reason you have the orange books, as I've shown before, all about 33. And talking about Clinton, like I stated before, Bill Clinton had his name changed from William Blythe to Clinton to get that 33. Just taking a look at all these images of Hillary Clinton wearing orange. Right here, again with the arms out. People can't see what's taking place. No clue. Now taking a look at another puppet in the game. Annie Lennox with the arms out with the Jesus pose. Again, all about mockery. You don't think she's a Satanist. Just like the rest. A sellout to Satan at least. Take a look at the hand signs. And of course her orange hair as well. Just another pose. The Jesus pose. Looks like she's looking up angry. Looking up at God almost. With the orange hair. Here's an older image from the 80s. Of course she had a song called Walking on Broken Glass. I'll get into that right now when it comes to Hillary Clinton. And with this from CNN from yesterday. Take a listen.
Glass ceiling was invoked by the sign Caution Shattered Glass.
All about, again, the firmament, the dome above us. It states in the Bible that God created a firmament which we live under.
Until now, we've seen mostly men breaking through glass ceilings in movies. And they tend to be going the wrong way.
I understand what's taking place here. Everything they do, there's a reason, this concept. She just said going the wrong way. Supposed to be going towards heaven, which is beyond the firmament, like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, the dome above us. Satanists do things in opposites. Instead of going up, coming down. And as far as Hillary Clinton being president, like I stated many times, I believe some event will take place that will lead Obama back. Basically staying in the White House, being the last president. And I talk a lot about Hollywood and predictive programming, truth in movies and lies in the news. Take a look at this scene in the 2012 Total Recall. The man's going through the briefcase. What do you see? They show Barack Obama on the currency. Taking a closer look, and it states United Federation of Britain. Of course, the royal family in England and Britain have the currency, once again, multiple languages, which all represents the coming New World Order. As far as CNN's concerned, in this segment, talking about shattered glass, all again representing the dome above us, the firmament. I'll play a previous video showing more mockery when it comes to breaking God's firmament. From Bruce Willis, when he was on David Letterman's show, at the very end, they show him breaking a pane of glass. Just take a listen to what he says here. He said he broke the dome. Does this look like a dome to you? It's just a pane of glass. Of course, they cannot simulate breaking the dome above because the glass will come raining down on him. So, this is how they do it. These Masons in their mockery, which they love to do, just like the saying, breaking the glass ceiling, as you see here. Now, more Freemasonry when it comes to movies hidden in plain sight. As I stated so many times, Freemasonry is nothing more than Satanism in disguise. Take a look at this scene from Pulp Fiction with Bruce Willis in the pawn shop looking for a weapon. And there you go. He's all bloodied up. He's looking at a samurai sword. Right next to him, right above him, is this little race car with the number 33. And of course, a reference to the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, 33. Now take a look at this other movie he was in back in the 90s called The Fifth Element. And what do you see? The Maltese cross? And he's wearing an orange shirt. And orange, of course, is 33 in numerology. Just taking a look at all the symbolisms when it comes to these celebrities. Taking a look here at Katy Perry and understand what's taking place. You see here with the cube on top of her head. Okay, you see her with the astronaut. And you see her with the broken glass dress. This is all a reference to heaven in breaking the dome. It states in Revelation how basically the heaven is a cube. The city was laid out like a square as long as it was wide. And that's why you see her and these concepts that they devise for these celebrities. They don't just pull them out of thin air. There's always a backstory. Again, this is heaven, which is a cube, and the broken glass, which is all symbolizes basically an astronaut breaking through the glass, getting to heaven, which is supposed space. Always, again, hidden meanings. The people that don't understand the occult will never get it. Again, they just think this is all random and just thrown together when it's not. Covered on the 33, I covered Ted Turner, Vince McMahon, a lot of Freemasons part of the world stage. Let's take a look at Ted Turner to start off. Just looking at his surname. It just so happens to be 33. Understand, people behind the scenes, much more powerful, much more rich, much more influential than Ted Turner, put him in this position because of the 33 surname. Taking a look, as I shown before, the CNN Center being on the 33rd parallel. Of course, as I mentioned, the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, the age Christ was crucified. Now, as far as the CNN logo itself, taking a look here how it's all connected for a reason. As I mentioned before, how they work on the number system, ABC is 1, 2, 3. Now you'll see the CNN logo turn sideways. You'll see the hidden 33. Just going a little bit further, of course, the CNN logo basically is a 33, as I shown here, and also a hidden code for 333 as well. And with the cultist, 333 is basically a hidden code for 666. Taking a look here at the solid image of CNN's logo, you can see the 3 and the 3. So that's just a 33, but this one is more or less duality with 33 and 666 with the occultic, again, number 333. Now, taking a look, as I showed before, with Vince McMahon's logo for WWE Wrestling with no E in the WWE logo. Of course, 833 as well. So Ted Turner, Vince McMahon, supposedly bitter rivals, both 33-degree Masons, as I showed before in a previous video as well. The 33 and the G being basically the same thing. Again, it's all about duality. Understand here what's taking place with the alphabet, with A through Z being 26. Skip over, and A starts over again as 27. When you get to G is 33. So again, understanding what's taking place with the 33 in duality. Now, as far as CNN in the occult of eye report, it's like the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. And as I mentioned before, how Satanists work on opposites, like Eliphas Levi and Aleister Crowley. They learn to write backwards, walk backwards, listen to phonographic records backwards, speaking backwards, reading backwards. They say the Lord's Prayer backwards in the Satanic Church. So when you see things in society, such as the iPhone, it's all again about the occult. You see Siri is iris backwards for the eye. You get two eyes basically here. Now, taking a look at some of these so-called elite, such as Bill Gates, who just so happened to retire from Microsoft after 33 years. Shown before the Microsoft logo with the hidden 33. Now, Bill Gates himself, just like Turner, is 33. Bill Gates, his full first name and last name is 33. Just goes to show, if you just so happen to have a first or last name or a full name that is 33, you will be propped up if you are a Mason in this world. Now, taking a look at Steve Jobs. Now, he doesn't have a 33 name, but he has a quote for 33 years with one of his posts. He also mentions looking in the mirror. Mirror is a reflection. It's all about duality. If you understand Freemasonry, you'll understand this. Now, Steve Jobs, again, his name is not 33 in numerology. Look at the Chaldean numerology calculator. Steve Jobs is 36. You get 3 6s, you get 666. And that's the occult of Apple Computer, which I'll show here. As I shown before, the first Apple computer was $666.66. A little bit of a close-up. You get the bite into an apple. You get the occult of the RAM itself. So always, again, everything is devised by these Satanists behind the scenes. Just taking a look here at this ad for Apple Computer. And you see this nude man holding the Apple Computer. Of course, the bite out of the apple represents the Garden of Eden, which he is standing in. You see the serpent talking about Adam. Just take a look at this computer, the Adam computer from this old ad from the 70s, and this nude woman representing Eve taking a bite out of the apple. Understand, all these computers that get distributed worldwide, these are Freemasons behind the scenes, all occultists. You're not going to make it on top of this world unless you are a Freemason. Like I stated many times, they get it all. We get the crumbs in this world. Now, getting back on topic as far as CNN's concerned, people involved and people need to understand how the Matrix works. Everybody on TV is part of the rigged reality. Just take a look here at Roland Martin, and you see the Masonic hand sign. Now, this is a liberal. Now you look at Donald Trump, who is a supposed conservative Republican, and you see the same Masonic hand sign. People need to understand, when you watch TV news, it's more or less a movie. People, supposedly enemies fighting against each other, but they're working together against us. Talking about working against us, let's take a look here at Roland Martin and CNN. The Trayvon Martin hoax, nothing more than a divide and conquer news story. In the whole wearing the hoodie, this is more or less a druid look. It's always about the occult. We're just taking a look, of course, here at the Adidas pyramid logo as well. And Roland Martin looks completely ridiculous with this hoodie over his head. It looks like Jabba the Hutt. And again, getting back on topic with the Masonic hand signs, nothing new under the sun. Like I showed before with Adolf Hitler. People, some so-called truth speakers say Hitler was some type of hero. These people are keeping you locked in the Matrix. I'm not going to give you the full, entire truth and make you believe there are actual heroes in this world when the world is nothing but a stage. No one gets propped up. No one gets part of history unless you're part of the rigged reality. Moving along here, understand Freemasonry in duality and what's taking place. Comes the Bible. It states in Isaiah 5:20, woe to those who call evil good and good evil. And this is a Masonic, basically, system here in this world full of deception, where nothing is as it seems. Let's take a look here with the so-called peace sign. This is what you call turning evil into something good. Going back in time with the cross of Nero, of course. Nero was basically a persecutor of Christians, going back to Roman times. You understand again the whole concept that these Satanists work on opposites, just like the so-called truth speaker Lupe Fiasco. And you see his necklace. Take a little bit of a close-up. You see the so-called peace sign, the anarchy sign, and the lightning bolt, which represents Satan, as I mentioned many times. Just like you see here, Anton LaVey, the founder of the Satanic Church, with the lightning bolt within the satanic pentagram. We're talking about turning, again, evil into good and good into evil. Let's take a look at the split image of the peace sign going back to ancient India. And these are Native American Indians with the peace sign on their jerseys. Again, turning good into evil with Adolf Hitler using their sign. So, understand the occultists work on opposites. That's what it's all about. Basically, the land of confusion, just like this song from Genesis.
There's too many men, too many people, making too many problems, and not much love to go around. Can't you see this is a land of confusion?
And that's what it's all about, keeping the masses confused, not knowing where to look, not knowing what is truth and what is lies. This is how they keep us divided, fighting, not knowing the truth. When you know the truth will set you free.